Oh my gosh. I don't know whether to call the A's trip to the airport in Kansas City the walk of shame. Is it a perp walk or is it the walking dead? The A's scored first in the first inning of the first three games and still managed to lose them all. They got swept, guys, and Kotze stood there with that same Chad do nothing look on his face. His pregame strategies for his relievers doomed him and the series. And it's clear, I give you this, that the bullpen is the worst baseball has seen in decades. But there comes a time when you have to retire bad leadership. And this is that time, guys. And Lawrence Butler could hit 10 more home runs, and it doesn't matter. I'm done with the laziness with which he plays. His inattentiveness cannot be ignored anymore. I'm ready to DFA a guy who had more hits than anybody else in the series. So go get your snacks, your beer, your scotch, your 420, whatever you're doing, settle in because we're covering 4 games. And I'm calling this the 4 games of F. And it's about to get gnarly today on the Habit Hunter. Here we go. What a disaster this series was. The opener was doomed from the start. Doomed, I say. Mason Barnett, listed as the starter for the A's in the opener, and just looking at his 2 previous starts, we all saw the writing on the wall. 10 earned runs in his previous 8 1/3. We should have seen this coming for sure, and we got what we asked for. But first, we started off with McNeil leading off. Hit the first pitch of the game for a solo bomb, which was really nice. We led in the first of every game except today. And we still couldn't pull out a win. Insanity. Bullpen and Geloff both singled to follow this. Good start, but of course, the human gummy bear, Carlos Cortez, hit into his first of 2 double plays on the day, and I'm done with him right now too. And you know I had his back at the beginning of the year. And he can't even bend down and pick up a freaking ball bouncing on the ground. He let it roll right underneath. It was embarrassing. But in this game, on the mound, Barnett picked up right where he left off in the previous 2 starts. 8 to the plate, in the first. Doesn't matter who did what because Barnett, he proved he didn't belong there. But there he was, walk, single, wild pitch, single, walk, 3-1, just like that. I don't like to gloss when it gets that into who did what, if it's the opponent. And that's the way it's going to be on this one because it was embarrassing. A's went down 1-2-3 at the plate for the next 3 innings. Just ineffective. I'm not even going to go through them like that because it was just 9 outs of boredom. Barnett in the second, though, just as bad as the first. Walk. What's with the wild pitches? It's not just him. It's everybody. They're throwing everything everywhere. Another wild pitch, 2-run homer, single. It was 5-1, and you might as well just roll it into the third. Single, walk, RBI single, 6-1. They finally pull this guy. I mean, they're trying to make him a starter. The man is a middle reliever at best. I don't care what anybody says. The man is a 2-inning guy at best. Sure, he can get more on a given day, but that's not who he is. He gets pulled for Hayden Younger, who got the 3rd out, which was nice. The 5th for the A's, though, Tommy Tanks launches another home run, his second in as many games. He finally got that monkey off his back, thought he liked it, thought he'd do it again. 103.3 off the bat, 401, 6-2. Not bad, not bad. Donovan Walton, he doubled. He actually didn't have a bad series. Brian Servin, he hits a 2-run shot, and it's 6-4. And you're thinking, wow, we might have a shot, but they sputtered. The A's, the rest of the game, was pretty much hit and done. Butler singled in the 6th. He opened the 6th that way. He opens a couple innings today with hits. Didn't pan out. Cortez, second double play, killed that. Blew it. He allowed another run in relief. It was 7-4. I'm not even going to go into it. A's went 1-2-3 in the 7th. Timed it about 3 minutes and 7 seconds. It took, and then we got to go throw out another guy out there, right? Bolte got hit again in the 8th. Pisses me off. I don't know why people hit our dudes so often. It's not like we're all crowding anything. Butler walked 2, but they were left out there today. Oh my God. We left 9 guys out there in, I think, 3 innings. Or no. 7 guys in 3 innings. Insane. Those guys were left out there. Scott Johnson, he was on the bump in the 8th for the A's. Course, double, RBI double, RBI single, 9-4. It's like it's the ghost of Scott Emerson all over again. That's what I was thinking. As each of these guys fail, I'm just thinking, who got him? Who brought him here? I just keep thinking of Scott Emerson, and every once in a while I see stuff in chats and stuff. Oh, see, it's not Scott Emerson's fault. It damn well is, dude. What he's done to these people. In the 9th, the A's added a who gives a shit run. They loaded the bases, but, I mean, let's put it this way. They load the bases, and how do they score? On a double play. It's like, go ahead, take the run. We're going to get the 2 outs. That's how bad we are. Guys, we're awful. We're awful. Oh, my God. We got 3 more games to go over, but trust me, I get a little gnarly at the end. Everybody grab a beer. My dog sitting there looking out the window, looking all cool. All right, so Tuesday, got up. Tyler Soderstrom's being shut down for good, hip surgery. Jacob Wilson was out of the lineup for the 2nd straight game, and I was thinking, shut Jacob down too. Remember, we were talking about it last series. I said, they're not going to bring Tyler Soderstrom back for 30 games. He's done, and they shut him down. So after the first couple of games, I was thinking, okay, Jacob's not coming back. And we learned that today. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few. But Monday's Cluster F sent Mason Barnett. He was demoted. He was the victim down to AAA. They promoted Taylor Rashi. Now, I was researching our trades and ads this season, and I saw that Rashi was 3-0 and 2.56 in AAA. And he was that for 3 different teams. He was waived by the Twins, and we snagged him just like a week and a half ago. And I was asking about him in the chat like at 8 o'clock in the morning because I didn't know anything about him. It was just I got busy or I wasn't feeling well. And I just didn't look it up. So I was asking about him. I didn't get any response, but 3 hours later he was promoted. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to get to see him. Today I had mixed emotions. I'm not impressed, but what are you going to get? We claimed another pitcher, left-handed pitcher Joe Rock. He was waived by the White Sox. And I do like the A's scanning the wire for new arms because most of ours are having horrible seasons. It's the reason why I even bothered to go through each game like we're going to continue to do is because now we got to look at it differently. We're not looking at it like, hey, we did this to win. No, we're looking at this now like, okay, who wants to be here? Who doesn't deserve to be here? And who do we need to move on from? So who's got the bad attitudes? Who's blasé? Who doesn't want to win? We want to get these people out. So that's why we're going through these. And I hope you guys are going to stick around for those because it's going to be gnarly the next 2-3 weeks. As for Tuesday's game, the bullpen melted down again. It's brutal how bad this is, but we'll dive into it a bit. Like I told you before, in the first, Geloff walks, McNeil singles, Heim draws a walk to load the bases. And here we go. Tommy White singles, scores Geloff. And McNeil was sent by Bobby Crosby. And why you wouldn't hold him up? It's McNeil. It's the old dude. I'm an old dude. Like, hold him up. Just, conveyor belt that. Next, that kind of thing. But no, he sent him. Dude was out by easily 4 steps. Just bad coaching decision. His coaching decisions have sucked before. People have given him a pass. But I don't like it. Casey's first. Brady Basso was the surprise for me as the starter. I didn't think he was going to be there. I was thinking someone else. He went full count to the first couple of batters. He had a 9-pitch battle, but he had a nice 1-2-3 with a strikeout. 9-pitch. That 9-pitch battle was, to the first guy. He got out of it pretty quick. In the second, the A's went to sleep at the plate in the second. 1-2-3, 8 pitches. That one was almost a record. A little over 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It's like you got to give your pitcher more time than that. Especially if you do that in a couple of innings in a row, slow it down. Take your damn time because you got to give the man a chance to settle in no matter who it is. For Basso in the second, Miguel Garcia singled. He opened the second, but, Basso, he set the next 3 down. It was fly out, ground out, 11 pitches, perfect. In the third, A's were even worse in the third. 1-2-3 on 7 pitches. I remember back to this earlier point where we were talking about this on an old Habit Hunter about how we would score, get a couple runs in an inning, get a crooked number up, and then we go to sleep for 3 innings. It is written, so it shall be done. And we did that for about the first month and a half. And it's kind of funny, but that's also when we were still in it, winning half our games. But we got away from that, and unfortunately, we're getting back to that where we just fall asleep because it was 2 innings, 6 batters, 15 pitches. That sucks. Ace starter Brady Basso. He opens the third. Carter Jensen singles to open the inning. Basso got 1 more out, and they closed his day off. And they put Jack Perkins in. Because I think he's always had problems with the first few batters. Basso did stay in for 9 hitters, and they only gave up 2 singles, and he did get a strikeout. So that was a great start, and we were hoping Perkins would settle in after that, Perkins in, Jensen tries to steal, called safe. I saw it was out. It was overturned, so it was 2 outs, which was cool. Basso Perkins finished the inning again in about 11 pitches. Not too bad. Bats needed to get going again, though. Pathetic stretch of ABs. 1, 2, 3, and 7 pitches. That's 3 innings, 22 pitches. That's just no time. In the bottom of the inning, Perkins hits Bobby Witt Jr., and Dallas goes on and on. If I were reincarnated, I would be Bobby Witt's penis. Stop it. Dallas, stop it. Like, you want to come back as Bobby Witt Jr., really? Of anybody you could pick. He gushes guys. Opponents way too much. Jenny's chatting about stuff. As he's gushing, she's chatting about how bad our bats are. I mean, and they are, but we don't need to hear it. In the 5th, we were 1, 2, 3, 9 pitches. I wanted to turn the game off, and we were winning. Perkins again, 4th inning in a row. First batter for Casey reaches. Pasquatch, say his name a lot. Wild pitch moved him 90 feet to second base. Michael Massey walks. We got a double play, and we got a few of those in the series. 9 of them in this series. No, 7 of them for us. We hit into 9. That's not very good. They started with a Bullpen single in this inning. We finally have a big inning, 32-pitch inning, considering that was just one more pitch than the previous 4 innings took. It was only 31 pitches to get through 4 innings for the A's at the plate. That was pathetic. So the A's start off Bullpen single, Geloff walks, Law Dog walks on 4 pitches. You got a RBI single from McNeil. It's a 2-0 lead. Muncy, RBI, 4-pitch walk. You could tell there was ooze everywhere. Ooze, I say. Y'all know what that is. Ooze is when? What? Everything's out of zone. And you either do swing at it like I used to, or you don't swing at it. Like, for a change, the A's did not do this year. I got to say this because I might forget it or we might run out of time. The A's only struck out 19 times in 4 games. That's less than, what, 4 a game? 5 a game? That is not bad. That is not bad. They're swinging freely. They batted about 240 in the series. Not a lot of punch to everything. Today was a disaster. But we managed to get up to 3-0. KC 6th. Perkins working the inning. He had strikeout. He goes down 3-0 to Witt Jr. Struck him out too, though. 13 pitches. That was great. Too bad we couldn't control Witt the rest of the series. We gave him an intentional base on balls today. I was just like, man, we're such chicken shit sometimes. Like, go up there and throw it at him, or at least hit him for the crap hits that we've already incurred by their pitchers. Like, come on, man, show something. You roll over. I know there's some rules about trying to turn double plays and such, but I just hate that. You don't just give away 90 feet. It goes against my ill. Drew Rom, he took over for Perkins in the 7th because the A's went down 1-2-3 on 10 pitches again. It's like they had the one good inning and then went back to bed. First pitch double, Jock Caglianone. Wow, I said that. Not bad. And you knew it was going to be business as usual. Rom, you could feel it. You could just feel it. Sasquatch, Vinny Sasquatch, Pasquatch, whatever. RBI double. 2 batters later ended Rom's day. His score was 3-1. It's fine. But A's reliever Luis Medina took over. He limited the damage. He got 2 ground outs. That's cool. But I told you guys, all these quick 1-2-3 innings, they're going to cost you eventually. Leaving people on all the time. It's like, and the A's at the plate, they had their 6th 1-2-3 inning of the game. And I looked at it. 18 times we went 1-2-3 this series alone. 4 games. 18 times. That's almost half the game of every game. We just forget us at the plate. We're done. 1-2-3. So you note 6 1-2-3 innings took just 51 pitches. I pointed out as proof that they're mailing it in sometimes. They're swinging out their asses. They're swinging out their asses. Swinging out the booty. Luis Medina, he continued to pitch in the 8th, and it was just an ooze fest. Ooze, I say. Walked Carter Jensen, then got Kyle Isbell to hit into the Royals' 3rd double play, and you thought, cool, we're getting clear of something. Medina walks Isaac Collins, and it was all over the map. You couldn't even decide a side. It was everywhere. Medina walks Bobby Witt Jr. with some ooze. He was pulled for Hogan Harris, so it's like, come on. Hogan Harris with loaded bases. What are you going to get? Giving up a single to Caglianone, but escaped unharmed. He's been a big red flag for me because his innings are always so busy. You guys notice that of late? Like, he got 2 2 saves a couple series ago, and I'm sorry, like people were saying he didn't even deserve one of those saves because it was just foot traffic and runs. I'm scared of the dude. Is at the plate, Law Dog singles on the first pitch in the 9th, and then Cod does what Cod does. He emptied the bench. And Hernay struck out. Cortez sucked. Harris had a meltdown completely in the 9th. It blew our 25th save. That's one thing that I spotted. 34 is our record, and I think we blew another one later, so we're getting there. We're going to break a record. Perez reaches on a catcher's interference. Massey singles. It's just a mess. 2 pitches later, 2-run single. Alvarado comes in. Bobby Witt Jr.'s up again. RBI single. It's just a 4-3 loss, but it's a stab in the heart because it happened in the 9th. Like, what the hell, man? We can never hold a run, hold a lead. It's frustrating. McNeil was the only smile. He went 0 for 5 today and still was second on the team in hits. So he's still hot. I don't know what happened today. At the end of the last show, I predicted a series split 2-2 for KC, and it was because our 4 and 5 starters in the rotation had been terrible. And it was Barnett and Basso starting the first 2 games. And let's face it, they're relievers. So with Gage Jump and JT Gannon in the final 2 games, I felt we were going to be in good shape to steal a couple of wins on the back end. And then Jeffrey Springs comes off IL and gets a start. Seth Johnson was optioned. Probably shouldn't have been here. Wasn't that a waste? I don't need to go into that. In the first, ace to the plate, Bolte hits his second pitch for a single. Jeff McNeil doubles, right center gap, 1-0 lead, just like that. Zach Geloff, RBI single. Steals second. Butler was striking out. He was busy striking out. I'm sorry. I know he had a good series, but he did some stupid-ass stuff on the base pass. He's back to being dumb. Springs starts the game, though. Caglianone single. He was left there. That's a good inning. 15 pitches. Gave you a little hope that maybe he's going to turn life around a little bit. The A's at the plate, new record, added time, 1 minute, 57 seconds, second inning, down on 8 pitches, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. Wasn't even 2 minutes, and Springs has to get back up. And that's the last person you want to do that to. 3-0 walk to Pasquatch. Walk Carter Jensen after 2-0 to him. He still had another clean inning, but all I could think of was he leads baseball with a buttload of home runs given up. For the A's, of course, another pathetic 1, 2, 3 on 9 pitches. Springs was a time bomb, though. He opens the third. He walks someone again on 4 pitches. Then he hits Caglianone. So it's first and second with an out. Got a double play, but there's just on the double play, he was down 3-0. He was about to 4-pitch walk to the guy again. And Muncy stepped on third and then threw to first. It was a good double play. Muncy, he had good times and bad times in this series, in my opinion. But that was a really good play. And you could see Springs. I mean, he had 3 guys down 2-0. Fourth. At the plate, Butler leads off with a single. But he flashes back to the beginning of the year. I got a 420. Everybody take a sip. Booney, you got a scotch. Take a scotch. Remember when he got picked off first base like 4 times in a week? He did that again. He got picked off again. Just inching out. And you could just see he was relaxed. You're going, no. One of those slow-mo things. No. That's where you could see it was coming, and it's back. I'm sorry. I know last series I was like, okay, we got to like him. His bat's coming back, and it is. But I have to hate on him again. I have to. It's unacceptable to be that lazy on the base pass. For the A's, Spring started a meltdown in the fourth, single, pass squash, RBI double, Salvador Perez, and they've got a 2-1 lead. The fifth, Donovan Walton, he singles and Muncy singled on the next pitch. And it was a nice stretch because Bolte hits an RBI double or RBI single. We needed that too for morale. McNeil, RBI single, 4-1. RBI ground out. I hate that. It's a ground out, force out. Geloff, 5-1. We were grooving though. But Casey in the bottom of the fifth, I'm not going to lie, I was really worried about Springs and his propensity for the long ball. Usually for third time he gets up, that's when they start popping off. And he had an outstanding inning though. 3 up, 3 down on 11 pitches. I was like, oh, all right. Maybe we're going to be out of this. Top of the sixth for the A's, of course. What are we thinking? 1, 2, 3, 8 pitches, of course. Springs, he needed a short leash. I said as much in the chat at the time, just given it was the sixth inning. Second batter, Pasquatch, he homers. I wanted him out of there. He homers in 2s and 3s. You know he does. I mean, he's got, 28, something like that. But no, the next pitch was a line out, but it was 107 off the bat. Carter Jensen singles, and then Springs gets pulled. So to me, it's as usual, about at least a batter later than I would want. But Springs overall, let's face it, 5 2/3 with 2 earned. Not bad. That's not too bad. 5 hits, 1 bomb. He navigated 3 walks, only had 1 strikeout. I guess we're kind of used to that for him. Scott Blewett replaces him. What does he do right off the bat? Tyler Tolbert single. It was a butt pucker moment, but he struck out Kyle Isbell, kept the lead 5-2. So I'm thinking, come on, we're going to get this one. For sure we're going to get one. A little scary, but we're going to get it. A's in the top of the 7th. Muncy and sliders do not mix. 387 mile per hour sliders later, and he's sitting down. And it was another week 1, 2, 3 inning, 10 pitches. Hi, buddy. Sorry, my buddy keeps bugging me. If I can get him up here, I'll let you see him. He's pretty adorable. Elvis Alvarado, he took the bump in the bottom half of the 7th, and he had a sweet 1, 2, 3 inning and only 10 pitches. And I'm telling you, everybody in the chat was like, yeah, we need to see him again in the 8th. I wanted the insurance runs at the plate from the A's in the 8th, but we went down, 1, 2, 3, 13 pitches. We're just pathetic. Bad. Hayden Younger in the 8th. They pulled Elvis. He said 10 pitches. It's like there are outs to be made, outs to be got by leaving him in. He's bad once he starts giving up singles and doubles and such. Once he gets the hit under his belt, then you might worry. But if he's 1, 2, 3 people, you keep him going. Mikhail Garcia up. Butler fucks up. Keep the damn ball in front of you, Butler. It's like runner on first if he does. Garcia's on board with a triple, and it's just like, yeah, it all went down because of Butler. That was a routine single to right. Come on, dude. Pasquatch, next one, 109 off the bat. He hit it so hard off the fence, it was only a single, but it scored a run, and, you knew what was coming. And, I just look at it like this. Kotze, you're a coward for not, I know you're smart about baseball. For some reason, you're not doing what your eyes are telling you should do. and popping that dude out for another inning, at least until he starts to fail. Given the history of this bullpen, it doesn't hurt to do that at this point. We're 30 freaking games out. That's coward, man. Trust your eyes. Hell, everyone's eyes. Alvarado actually looked dominant for a change. And I said that once in the last series too. So he seemed to be coming around, and no, you don't trust him. Dude walked another guy and then was pulled for FNG. FNG, he's the new FNG, Drew Rom. He's our closer now, apparently. He was unemployed 8 days ago, but he was tasked to save the day on this day. What does he do? Walk, RBI single, sac fly, tied it, intentional walk, because I love those. Bases clearing double. Hell, leave him in, Kotze. Because you're all wise, you useless manager. You suck at your job, dude. RBI single, 9-5. You suck at what you do. Butler, you suck at what you do. You should be benched for getting picked off. And DFA'd for the lazy fielding that snowballed this loss. 9th, I don't care. Walton singled. Muncy homered, made it closer than it appears, like on the little mirror thing. 9-7. There was only 2 extra base hits. There was only 1 today. We were weak in this series. Another 5 times A's bats went down. 1, 2, 3. So that's 15 times in 3 games the A's did that. But this loss was unnecessary. How they rolled the bullpen out was unnecessary. I wish they could put Kotze on the transactions list. I want to wake up and see Kotze has been traded to – I better not add a name yet. I can't remember who's where. Might end up with something worse. Woke up today with not much hope for this team, guys. But Gage Jump was on the bump, so it was worth going. Heavy meds, covering an early game. Found out mid-game they shut Jacob Wilson down, like I said, about 2 months too late. With the team being uncompetitive, it should have happened a little sooner. In the first today, Henry Bolte opens the game with a single. Like, come on. What's the next guy do? Double play. It's like, okay, I see the way today's going to go. We're done. McNeil, double play. He's the only one hitting. Oh, my God, we're toast. I should have went back to bed, and I should have. Geloff got a walk. Butler singled, but Muncy whiffed on his. And, Butler doesn't fool me anymore. He doesn't. I've jumped on that bandwagon. I'm done with Butler. I hope he bats 500 the rest of the way. Or let's be realistic. He bats 400, and then we can get something for him. I'd love that. But don't jump on his bandwagon again. Gage Jump on the bump. Bobby Witt solo homer. 1-0. It was done. Double Garcia. He pulled his hamstring on a fielder's choice. He was caught. So it was limited to 1 run. But don't worry, there's more. There's more. In the second, in the A's second, Cortez opened with a single to the left. Now, Cortez had a good day. We'll go over that at the end. Donovan Walton, he walked. He had a decent day. And Darryl Hernandez singled. And Darryl Hernandez is not a good shortstop. And we're so bad, no one in the chat even brought it up that the A's loaded the bases with 1 out. And it's pretty much, I noticed it right away. I'm like, wow, hey, we're not going to score, though. That's Kotze's fault. You've made the fans indifferent. It's like I was looking at it, bases loaded. I'm like, we're not going to score. By the end, we're like, oh, wow, we could have. What would have happened? Thanks for giving us this level of baseball. If the fans expect your team to suck, and they do, and they did. In the chat, we were messing with Mia about Hernandez, but we were talking about that. We were talking about Fernando Mendoza. We were talking about the Rams. We weren't even talking about baseball at that point because it was just like, ugh, you got to be kidding me. Jump in the second, walk Tolbert, who stole second. He got held up there, which is good, but you could see it's coming. The A's in the third. Geloff had a drive to the warning track, but Dallas and Jenny were talking about whiteout. I told you they talk about random shit. We're talking about whiteout, and she's like, "Oh, I might have used it and used some of it." Like, they're going on and on as this ball. At least you could have given some kind of exciting sound. Oh, to the back, to the warning track, to the warning track. It's, make it exciting or something. But whiteout isn't on the list of things to talk about during a baseball game, Jenny, in Dallas. Damn. Muncy walked, Cortez singled again, but Brian Serven, both of his first two at bats, Cortez had gotten on only for him to strike out. And that's not good. He had a bad day. Casey's third at the plate, Witt Jr., Salvador Perez. They both singled, first and third. Pasquatch walked to load him up. Collins, 2-run single, routes on, 3-0. I checked out. I actually turned the sound down. I went to basic coverage for the team. Because let's face it, guys, we have the worst record in baseball. And I'll say this, we'll probably be a 500 team, maybe a 550 team at AAA right now, because most of these guys are AAA. Who do we keep? Stay tuned. Walton doubles for the A's in the fourth. But all I was thinking was, we left 2 on in the first. We left him loaded in the second. We left 2 on in the third. You aren't getting a smile out of me. I don't care if you opened with a double. Hernandez walked, 2 on, nobody out. I wasn't grinning. Why? Hold on. I'm writing something down. Why? Double play, of course. 1 pitch pop out. We're the worst A's team in 30 years. This team is the worst team in 30 years. I've been an A's fan since I was a little guy in the mid-'70s when they were winning it all. I was a little guy. And now what I'm seeing is so bad. It's just badly put together team. Mishmash of who's going to do this time, who's going to do what then. Like, come on. Organize. Cott's got to go. Gage was back to putting people on. First guy, Massey, single. Triple, Lofton, 4-0. Walked Witt Jr. intentionally because, hey, we can't get the guy out, so we just put him on first. Being the guy. That's what I was saying. Being the guy. Not like we have a track record for long, endless innings anyway that score 12 runs in a pop. So putting another guy on free, that made sense to you? RBI single. Sal Perez. Again, 5-0. He'd already shredded us, so we walked. Okay, so think of it this way. We walked Witt to get to Sal Perez, who's been eating us alive. Have some fucking nuts, dude. Make Witt earn it. The guy is amazing, though. I'll give him that. But come on, team. A's fifth. Who cares? Butler, Muncy, Cortez. They drew 3 walks. 3 walks with 1 out. They load the bases. RBI single. Brian Serven, 5-1. Walton RBI ground out, 5-2, because we can't keep the singles rolling. That's all we got. Taylor Rashi, our new guy, FNG, Taylor Rashi. It's not Drew Rom anymore. It's Taylor Rashi. He took over for Gage Jump. Jump went 4 innings, 8 hits, home run, 3 walks, 3 Ks, 5 earned. But it didn't matter. Rashi walked first guy he faced, RBI double, 6-2. That's just how we give the runs right back, even when we score. We 1, 2, 3. It just rolled over and over for the rest of the game. A's went up, 3 down in the 6th. They went 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. Scott Blewett was in there. First guy up. He singles, Massey. in the 7th. Blewett stayed in for the 8th. Error Muncy, because Witt needs work to do on his on-base percentage. So Muncy thought he'd commit an error and put Witt on anyway. But Blewett got out of it, got another double play. He got out of a double play, got out of the inning before with a double play too. So pretty good. He's keeping the ball down. A's were looking for a plane flight, though. They mailed it in the 9th, too. Ground out Bullpen 1 pitch, ground out McNeil 2 pitches, ground out Geloff 3 pitches. How's that for wanting to go? Even Jenny, I'll give her this. Even she said it. A's couldn't wait to get out of KC. Couldn't wait to stop watching this AAA squad from hell, though. I don't know, guys. Losing 4 hurts. I tried to be semi-positive about it, but that's bad baseball. All right, a little bit of roll call real quick. We're at 40. Perfect timing. Our bats, 243, 32 for 132. Meh. Three doubles, 3 home runs. That's in 4 games. That's barely okay in 3 games. 15 walks, but like I said, 19 strikeouts. Only 19 strikeouts. That's pretty good for the A's. 4 errors. That's not acceptable. That's just lazy. So there was a couple things called triples and singles that did not deserve that moniker. They should have been errors. For our starters, we were horrible. ERA near 8, 7.98. 13 earned runs and 14 2/3. Relievers were just as bad, although they did most of their damage in the 3rd game. 14 earned runs in 17 innings. Their ERA 7.41. They're both absolutely horrendous. For the guys, like I said, Butler, most hits, 6 for 13. He batted .462. Also had 3 walks, so he's seeing everything at the plate. He did have 3 strikeouts, but the man is a menace to himself in the field and on the base pass. Bullpen, 5 for 17, 294, 3 runs. He did have 4 strikeouts, so his strikeouts are creeping back up. McNeil, 5 for 17, same batting average, 294. Home run, 2 runs, 4 RBIs. Not bad. I expect a lot more from Max Muncy, 2 for 8, 2 runs, 3 walks. I'll give him that. His on-base percentage is okay. But 1 home run. But come on, man. You're supposed to be the Devils guy. You know, that's the guy who I was looking forward to. And finally, the last guy I want to talk about was Donovan Walton. He went 4 for 12. That's solid. 333. He had 2 doubles, 2 runs. You know, what else are you going to expect from a guy that plays randomly? That's that. You know what? That's pretty much all I got there. We have 3 in Houston. Great. Let's go ruin their season. Who do you guys put it in the comments? Who do you guys hate the most? I hate the Astros. Cheating people. I hate people who cheat to win. Because the team that are trying to do it right, we can't compete with you when we're just trying to do it right. We definitely can't keep up with you when you're cheating. So it's time to piss some people off, man. Take 2 or 3 from these fools. That's all I got. Be excellent, as always, to each other. And I am a ghost.